All right. I have it on small, so there we go. Okay. Let's see if people come on. How's everybody doing this morning?
Well,
Good.
We're here.
Good. Good.
Resident accountant.
I was going to say that, Jared. Unfortunately, you didn't hear me.
Power. All right, we'll give it a couple more minutes. That's right, man.
That's what the crucifix is for.
My when I did my clinical pastoral education, it was taught by none. So and I will say, out of all of my seminary education, both seminaries, I've never had anybody scare me or intimidate me more than she did. And I've already told y'all the story, but I'll tell it again one day. Tell about how she shooed me out in front of the entire class and taught me the biggest lesson I've ever learned in my life. She was awesome. I thought she couldn't stand me. I really did for a long time. Then she got a little more warmer at the end, and then she was talking to my mom, and she's like, I gave Keith such a hard time. He said because all that potential I could see he had, and he did it. And she said, I'm proudest of him of all my classes. I mean, it was very sweet of her. And then she and I would talk after, and it was great, like friends. And she was probably, I don't know, a 90 at the time. And I'm kidding, she wasn't 90. But I will tell you this, I was at Christ Church, and her supervisor was there and said, you were there, right? And I said, yeah. And she taught you. I said, yeah. She goes, I have a question for you, just off the record. I said, what is that? How old is Sister Helen?
Oh,
and I
gosh,
said,
I know Sister Ellen.
I said, I have no, why would she tell me? He said, we went to her records because there's mandatory retirement, right? They went in, she refused to put her birth date and age, like way years ago. And so they didn't know. So, she had to be in her 80s. So when Mom was in the hospital last year, she was at the hospital where I did all my clinicals. And anyway, I went and asked, and they said, oh, Sister Helen, she's doing great. She's still driving around to her doctor's appointments and stuff. And I'm like,
Oh my gosh.
I'm like calculating it. It's like, wow. So anyway,
Yeah.
All right. I must not have advertised this as well as I thought. We only have one, so we're going to go ahead and go. But anyway, all right. Well, what I want to do is I promised y'all earlier this year, we did Easter, if you remember, and we did slides from Israel. Karen, Zoe, and I, I'm trying to think, nobody else was, John, Janie are not here. But we went on this trip. And so what I want to do is I took y'all through Easter and where everything actually is said to have happened. And I want to do the same thing with Christmas. Today, there's not as many pictures, I don't think, as I had the other one. So today what we're going to do is we're going to go to the Annunciation where Gabriel came to Mary. And then we're going to go to the Visitation where Mary goes and sees Elizabeth. Next week, we will go to Bethlehem. And there we will go to the tomb and the cave where Jesus was born, and then go to the shepherd's cave and talk about that. All right? All right. Well, let me get my clicker here. I was messing with clickers a minute ago, and all right. Oh, there it is. They now hide these things in the different spots. That's what I want to hear. All right. So let me get my trusty little guy here. Come on. Come on. No, come on. Do that to me. I'm telling you, the Lord loves to have fun with me. All right, here we go. So Christmas in the Holy Land, which sounds like an oxymoron, but all right. So would somebody like to read today? It's a little bit of a long passage, but it kind of sets up. It sets the whole thing up. 26 through, could just do 26 to just to 39 or something, 39.
26:39. Yes, sir. Reading from the book of Luke. In the 6th month, the angel Gabriel was sent by God to a town in Galilee called Nazareth, to a virgin engaged to a man whose name was Joseph, the house of David. The virgin's name was Mary, and he came to her and said, "Greetings, favored one, the Lord is with you." But she was much perplexed by his words and pondered what sort of greeting this might be. The angel said to her, "Do not be afraid, Mary, for you have found favor with God. And now you will conceive in your womb and bear a son, and you will name him Jesus. He will be great and will be called the Son of the Most High, and the Lord God will give to him the throne of his ancestor David. He will reign over the house of Jacob forever, and of his kingdom there will be no end." Mary said to the angel, "How can this be, since I am a virgin?" The angel said unto her, "The Holy Spirit will come upon you, and the power of the Most High will overshadow you. Therefore the child to be born will be holy. He will be called the Son of God. And now your relative, Elizabeth, in her old age, has also conceived a son. And this is the 6th month for her, who was said to be barren. For nothing will be impossible with God." Then Mary said, "Here am I, the servant of the Lord. Let it be with me according to your word." Then the angel departed from her. Word of the Lord.
Thank you very much. This is actually an incredible story on Mary. If you really, and what I want to do is just kind of take a step back, and we're going to go to where this happened. I've got to get squeaky oiled, I think. Okay, we have whole traffic coming in, so just a squeak. Yeah, all right. Thank you. Sorry about that, TV world. So anyway, what I'm trying to do is focus on Mary for a moment, because this is absolutely an incredible story. It's a story of calling. You got an angel coming to this child and saying these incredible words that it's like, how can I be pregnant? How can I be with child? And yet I love how she accepts the call from God. And so I want to talk about that a little bit when we're done with this, about that particular thing. So I want you to really think about it and about this child. So we're at the Basilica of the Annunciation in Nazareth. Remember, it doesn't start in Bethlehem. It's in Nazareth. And this is where Joseph and Mary lived at the time. I want you to look at this top. The reason being is we're going to see inside a lily, and we'll talk about that and how you can see it. And I will promise you that my pictures do not do justice to the actual being there in person. And so I'm hoping one day that many of us will go again and go and see this. But this is the Basilica, and it's just, again, it's absolutely beautiful. This is the front of the Basilica. As you can see, just look at this. And one of the things I want to talk about, because we're going to see inside, there have been multi-churches through the years. Okay, church after church, and then whether it's war or whatever happened at the time, they would rebuild a church again. And so this is considered, since the mother of Constantine, it's just, this is where they decided this is where it happened. Churches have come there, and pilgrims over the time. Look at this, just the beautiful carvings. And again, I can't do justice on it. You'll have to go see it in person. But I'll try to get it. But there's Matthew, Mark, Luke, and John over here. You got your angels. You're greeted by Mary when you go. It's a beautiful statue of Mary. And what I love, oh yeah, I forgot I had this. Is if you'll notice right here, the black, right? On her hands from people touching it. The pilgrims that come and touch it. You'll also notice down below is a snake, a serpent. And where does that come in the Bible?
Genesis.
There you go, Genesis. Come on, come on. We just talked about that recently, right? You will strike their heel, and they will step on your head, right? And there's Mary stepping on the head. I had in Panama, I had a maid who, because of the talk of Mary and the serpent, was that if a woman was pregnant and she stepped over a snake, she would kill her. And I was like, I don't know where that came from, but that was her belief. This is just trying to give you details. You saw this in the above the door above, but the hands of Christ, and then of course the Jerusalem cross, which I absolutely love. The door. So this is the front door, even though we went through here the side. But it's absolutely gorgeous, and it shows the story of the Old Testament here on the sides. Okay, you see this? Can y'all see that? All right. But on the door itself is the New Testament stories, and they're just incredible artwork. I'm going to get a little closer to these so you can see them. Look at this.
Is that all wood, Father Keith?
This is metal.
Bronze.
Bronze. Yeah, bronze. Yeah, which is even more incredible. Oh yeah, extremely heavy. And so let me just get to another section. Isn't that incredible? Look, and then not only that, but like small, like the Holy Innocents is right here. You can see cut in. I mean, here they are, you know, the three wise men right here, the baby. Shepherds. I mean, it's just absolutely incredible. Even feeding the 5,000 and speaking to them out of the water, just incredible. What?
That's the resurrection, Lord. That's Jesus.
Oh,
with the,
you know,
with
I'm
the
sorry.
three women.
You're right. You're right. I told you to correct me. Sorry. Yes, you are, because there's the tomb. That makes
So
sense.
that's Jesus on the beach, which we went to.
Yes. So anyway, there's so much. It's like I just got done with a long trip. I'm tired, but I will get it right. So anyway, we got Joseph and Jesus, teaching him carpentry at the time. But I mean, so if you think of this in bronze, again, that's what I really want. I was just like blown away with this. Going to Egypt. Oh, just look at this.
So much of the things that we saw are dedicated or given by countries. This particular door was from Germany.
That's right. Yes, from Germany. That's exactly right. Thank you. And please, I need you to step in. Seriously. No, from Germany. And there. Look at this. Look at the detail and all of that. So then the angel Gabriel visited Mary and delivered the invitation. Okay, and we just heard that. Okay, so let's go take a look. This is Mary's home. Okay, so what you're looking at is it was a cave. You can see where over time different churches have been part of this and have built, and then they're destroyed and rebuilt. Matter of fact, in the 20s, I saw a picture that the stairs actually came up here. And so this all here was up here at the time. Remember, they have churches that are above, and then it's below where a lot of times where these relics or these areas are being protected. And so, so this is the cave. You can see where they've done more modern work on it, probably with cracks, etc., and from the support the other churches. This is coming up the side of it, and I've got plenty of pictures here. So maybe even Zoe right there, actually. One of y'all taking pictures right in front of me, because there wasn't very many people with us. It was us. And so came up to the side. You can see the some of the stone. See the stone from the cave. And this is inside of it. I'll show you closer pictures, but what you're seeing is the altar here where you can go and pray. We could not. Up here, you'll see stairs, and I will show you that here in a minute, but that also went up to the kitchen and the outdoors. when they lived. So that's where Mary would have gone up the stairs to cook outdoors and to also an outdoor cropping itself. There's the stairs again. You see that? And again, that's us trying to take pictures, trying to get all the different angles possible to see this. Got my hand through there, made sure it didn't get cut off, but it was cool to show a better picture inside. So inside you see more of the cave, rock and everything. And then that's not a good picture. There's another. So this pillar, there's a pillar here on the side. You remember what that was, you guys? So the pillar was actually built because they say that this is where Gabriel was when he spoke to Mary. And this is where Mary was, right here. And so they built this part, I'm sure for some support too, because you see it, but that is what they consider where Gabriel spoke to Mary. And so on the altar itself, written here, is here the Word was made flesh. This is where it all happened, folks. So I think it's pretty cool. It was incredible. We were all just standing there, and it was almost hard to leave, wasn't it? You know, just knowing this is where it all happened. And so it's absolutely just beautiful. Again, you see those stairs that go up. Again, they put this in for that reason. I love Jerusalem crosses, so you'll see this throughout where I'm taking pictures of them. They're absolutely beautiful. And there's a picture of me. I had my mask on. I didn't bring anything back. And this are other altars that are up. Do you remember which one this altar was? Up there. There's another one. Not a good picture of it. This is actually looking from the cave. If you're looking out from the cave, this is the altar here in the center of where they have the mass, and this is down below. Here's the lily for Mary I was talking about. Remember when we looked at the basilica and the big dome? This is what you would look up. In my pictures, I tried, do not do, wouldn't y'all say? It does not do justice of seeing this in real life. It really is absolutely breathtaking. There's another picture of it when you look at it. And this is above that altar I was just showing y'all. But it's just absolutely just beautiful. So I was trying my best to show you guys. But these are ruins. Again, this is from older churches. You can see, look at the different ones over time. And then where it goes, they went down even further. And here's where the actual cave is, where Mary lived, would be inside here. But look at the pillars. You see the old pillars and stuff that were made at the time. And again, one of the pictures I saw was from the 1926 or something. And they were worshiping from up here, and stairs went up on these sides, old rock stairs. But you can see here the building of all of that. Sorry, that it'd be too bad there wasn't photography, because wouldn't it be great just to see what it looked like in 500 or, you know, or 800 or, you know, and what they were doing at the time. Again, stairs, and I had my foot to show what that was, because I knew when I took the picture, it'd be like, what? So there's my foot. Yeah, but these are the stairs that went up. And more archaeological pieces. They're here, they're still working on it. Which again, you can see them. I just think it's absolutely, again, can you see the pillars here? And this is inside the cave right here. And there's that other picture I took of the altar a few minutes ago, but I don't remember who gave it. This is up the basilica, and this is the upper level. Okay, so again, you have the lower level, then you have the upper level where they actually have their modern day mass. They have special services obviously down below, but this is where you would go. So what you're seeing here is where you would obviously worship, and you see the altar. But what you don't see is here is the big circle. Do y'all see this right here? And that's, if you come up to the gate and look down, you would see Mary's home. You would see Mary's cave. All right, so that's why people come into this particular one. And it's just absolutely beautiful. Above, you would see the lily. And just a beautiful picture of their altar. This is actually from Spain. This one I remember. It was like from Spain, another altar. You can see it's just absolutely gorgeous. It's another picture of them. And these are the the writers of the gospel. And again, I have this thing about Jerusalem Cross. And I told y'all, right? Did I tell y'all before? I got a Jerusalem Cross. I'm not a fan of tattoos. I never have. My graduating class from seminary all decided, but two of us, to get a tattoo of the church or the school, right, on them. And I said, no, I won't. And I made the comment, I would never get a tattoo unless I got it from the special family in Israel. And so this particular family has been doing tattoos for, it's 29 generations that have been doing it. So that tells you. And I can't remember, do you remember how many? It's 1,300. 1,300 is when they started. And so they have these piece of wood, a couple of them, and they're stamps. And on that stamp, they do the tattoo. And so the one I decided was the Jerusalem Cross, because it's their oldest. And King George had one. All these royalty, when they came to Israel, they would get this from this particular family. And matter of fact, Prince William was coming to Israel, or was supposed to be coming to Israel, and this family wrote him and said, do you want us to do your tattoo the way your family has had in the past? And so see, I got mine. Because my friend who graduated with me said, don't you remember what you said? And I was like, oh. So I went ahead and had it done. I love this here is a piece of artwork. People from different parts of the country, just like Karen was talking about the door, people from all over the world have contributed to this church and to honor Mary. And so there's all these portraits, there's different artwork of Mary from all kinds of countries from around the world.
Outside,
Yeah, outside. Yeah, they couldn't even fit them inside the church. They're outside on this outside walls. You can just walk and walk and walk and see them. And then inside, same thing. You just walk along the walls and you see them. And this one is from the United States.
Yeah, the ugliest
Fun fact about the one from the United States, it's comprised of materials from the space shuttle. Yeah, that was one of the neat trivia facts about that, is it's made out of the same stuff that they make the hull of the shuttle.
And that's the only thing that makes it beautiful. But anyway, Karen, I'll never forget, we walked up, all of us, and Karen's like, well, how you put it? Like, well, that's the ugly. It was just like, really? Well, I mean, when you're walking by these other art pieces, and they're absolutely beautiful. It's not that it's not ugly, it's different.
Yeah.
Let's put it that way.
It doesn't
Temporary.
It does, right, it didn't fit. When you go and you look at it, but yeah, if they've, from being on the space shuttle, it's a little bit modern, right, of all of this, but I don't know. It didn't fit. And so I don't want to insult the artist by any means, because I don't think it's ugly. I just think it was just different. Anyway, and then there's other art, not of, but of Jesus, obviously. Okay. All right. You want to come and read this one? Where is he? Matthew 1:20. You just do it from one. I could have just read that. Sorry.
But after he had considered this, an angel of the Lord appeared to him in a dream and said, Joseph, son of David, do not be afraid to take Mary home as your wife, because what is conceived in her is from the Holy Spirit.
All right. Thank you very much. Well, we've talked about Mary, but poor old Joseph, really, he doesn't get very much in the story, right? And so we want to also pay tribute to Joseph. It's a beautiful bronze statue of Joseph. And we went up there, but we had to leave. And so I was kind of getting panicky because I really wanted to go see Joseph's home and all of that, which is right behind us. But the guy, I don't know why we were late, but anyway, he's trying to get us back. So I shot back real quick to get pictures for you guys for this class. But a beautiful bronze of him. Notice his knees. So all the pilgrims coming and rubbing on his knees and keeping it shiny, our bronze look, see? Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful. Another picture of him. Now you can see it a little bit better. So no, he didn't have knee surgery. He just anyway. It's back here that his house is, and matter of fact, they have a cave, and you go down. There's a candle and all of that, where Joseph was when the angel came to Joseph and said, "Hey, guess what? I've got some big news for you." And so we did not get to go in there, but you kind of see all this. So it's a longer building, and then you go down below, and that's where Joseph. So they're right by each other, Mary and Joseph, down with each other. And so, anyway, just want to show like feet in here. This here is also showing up here some of the old parts of the church. Again, as I told you, this is an archaeologist's dream of the different church pieces. And then you get underneath here. And this is more of the cave and then also old church. Remember this? You don't remember this?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. We didn't get to spend a lot of time here. We had to go shoot real quick, and I was like snapping pictures like a nut and running to go do this. So we did not actually get to go down here. I would have loved to and seen all of that. Anything you guys have to add to this? Okay. See again the pillars and all of that.
I think what they're doing is continuing to excavate down there. That was why we couldn't go down.
Right. Well, our guy wouldn't let us. We had to get going on the bus because I was asking, because it was actually a thing you could put in a coin and go down, and it wouldn't, but we couldn't do it. But they are. This is still, this is an active site where they're still working on it. Like I said, God knows how many churches have been on this, and they're trying to get each one in the story of each church.
There was actually 7 synagogues that had been unearthed, and they had just unearthed number 8 when we were there.
That's right. Yeah, that's right. Yes, that exactly. So, just how cool is that? Right? And to think of a synagogue that Mary and Joseph both went to, right, in their worship, it's just so cool. All right. So now let me just check that. Well, and all right. Well, we're faster than I thought. All right, so the visitation. Again, you know the story of the visitation, right? Luke 1, 39. Don't know if we have time. What time is it? Is it 9:57? This is where the story of Mary comes to see Elizabeth. And here it is. This is the Church of the Annunciation. Visitation, sorry. There are 2 places here, so we don't get them confused. One we did not get to go to, where actually John the Baptizer was born. It's also the temple where his father, Zacharias, he loses his voice because he kind of laughs at God for telling him his wife is going to be pregnant. Remember that? And so this is what is called their summer home. So to get out of the heat and everything, they would come up here. And so lots happen here as well. And so it's to be cooler and stuff. So obviously, John the Baptizer's dad must have had a little bit of income coming in to be able to have a couple places. Beautiful, I think, of her coming. I love this. I sat there and I looked at this for the longest time. This is a beautiful piece of artwork of Elizabeth and Mary coming together. Just a view out, and also to see the walk you had to do to come up. And this looks like nothing, because this is the first level right here. Then you go down and you keep going. So this was a tough walk. But sometimes I was thinking about it, and I'll do it in a sermon one day. Not all walks with God are easy. And I thought that's all I could think of, because it wasn't a whole lot to do but walk up this thing. And it really was. And some are smoother, and then there's in the middle is actually steps. And it looks like the steps are easier, but they're jaggy and they're not. And so again, I think there's a lot here to unpack about visiting or being with God and the walk with God and the call of God. I like this, wear modest clothing. We need more of this in the United States. I had to take a picture of this, really cool. military helicopters coming across, and it was really neat looking. So I took a picture of that. Beautiful tree here. Look at, do you see the branches or the trunk? I just thought it was fascinating because you know I like gardening and stuff like that, and so I just thought it was neat. And so here I just took a picture of Mary and English. Then again, it's telling the story. Okay, according to this here, Mary met her cousin Elizabeth and sang hymn of praise and Magnificat and a song of gratitude to God. And then they have here the Magnificat. This is one of the doors that I took. I took a picture because of the Jerusalem crosses. These are beautiful paintings inside one of the upper churches. Here is the greeting mural of Mary greeting Elizabeth. This is Zechariah burning incense at the temple in the church of the Visitation. Also, this is really interesting. Something we never thought about is the death of the innocent, right? Killing. Remember, Herod goes to kill all children 2 and under. You ever thought about John the Baptizer? He was in that. We never talk about that. But he's one of the babies. Remember, he's born just a little before Jesus, right? But he's still under that 2-year-old section. And so this is a portrait of them killing the children, the babies, and her hiding John the Baptizer. And so she hides him behind a stone that you see right here. And here's the stone. And so, yeah, the rock said to shelter John during the massacre of the innocent, and it's in the Church of Visitation. This particular stone, they did not cut it out to put it in here. Apparently, over time, since they found this place, this stone was a lot bigger, but people have chipped away to have a piece of it and have held it, and it has beaten it down to this. They finally decided to bring it inside so that it wouldn't be gone, because it was, look at it, I mean, it's not going to be long. See, that's only how big it is left, so they would have lost it pretty quick. Here, one of the altars. Here is a mosaic floor, and you can see all the fish and everything, and it's really beautiful detail of going back here. I'm sorry. And this well is said where John the Baptizer and his mom Elizabeth and his dad, this is the well they drank from. The well, it is said, according to legend, is when Mary got there, through the rock cracked and water gushed up. And so it was used since Mary had gotten there. It's another picture of it right here. We could not go down to it. Would have been really nice. But I just want to show you a little, look at this. I mean, the artwork is absolutely incredible. Incredible.
And how old did you think that one piece was? How old is it?
Which piece?
The one with the fish.
This one?
Yeah.
Do you remember what year is it? I don't know. I'm sorry.
Okay.
I wish I had gotten that. But if it's going to where John and them drank from, if that was there at the time, right? We're talking a couple thousand years old.
Right.
You know. But you'll see the mosaic throughout Israel. They'll have a cold cut and they'll show below. So yeah, Roman times before that, I mean.
It's worn really well.
Oh,
I mean, you think something that old would just be that.
Right.
It's interesting that each of those fish are different.
Yes, oh yeah, isn't that something?
Mhm.
And if I can get this to do it, I'm gonna just tell you real quick. Come on. Aw. Well, I was hoping it would work. Hold on, let me see if I can get it to work on here. Maybe it has to be in full. That stinks. Hold on for a minute. I'm gonna try something here.
John the Baptist wept for joy, and Mary came to visit her. And the cousins came together. and in the enjoyment and the compass that was spoken by Mary, our song was inside. Anyways, hard to hear today, but I want to show you inside real quick. This is where we were.
My friends was quite loud.
Just show you. This is interesting. If you see this piece of artwork up here, the angels helping Elizabeth with John the Baptist when they came to kill the innocent as a child. They say that this is the rock that she hid him behind when the Romans came to kill all the babies. All these prayers of the last 10,000 years have been away all the stone ages. But again, here is Elizabeth said, what have I done? The mother of my Lord comes to visit me, and John the Baptizer leaves with joy. Anyway, we're going to see some more. See some more.
All right. Get back to, there we go. So yeah, this is where it happens, right? And so this is the visitation garden with the altar. This is the altar. Obviously, this was used later, the Jerusalem cross. This is in the upper church of the visitation. So again, remember I said that how a lot of things are down below, and then they have above it your church. It's absolutely gorgeous. Another mural of the Virgin Mary. And some nuns looking out. There's Zoe. And look at this. Isn't that just a beautiful? So imagine Mary having to come up through all of this to come and visit her. And I even thought about that. I was like, man, as hard as it was to get up for us, I can't imagine back then for her. She must have had a good donkey. That's all I know. All right, next week we will go to Bethlehem and we will go through the door of humility. All right, so that's it. Any questions? Thank you. Any questions or comments? Because what I want you to think about and take away from this real quick, and then let you all get to worship, is I want you to think again about calling, the calling of Christ. Okay, I mean, sometimes we think, wow, I've been called, or I feel like I should read at the church, or I should be an alkalite, or I should be or going out and giving Eucharist. But do I have enough time? Do I really feel like doing it? Will this come up? That's so minor compared to what we read of being called, this little girl being called and saying, you are going to have God. You're going to have the Son of God, and then to have it be, because realize when she heard this and accepted the call, she knew her culture. She knew what was going to happen to her if she's pregnant and is not married yet. And what would Joseph do? But how about for Joseph? Also a call, and instead where the norm would have been to have her stoned to death out in that court, it's, I will take and protect her. What a call in faith. You're pregnant and it was done by an angel? Yeah, okay. Come on. I mean, really think about that. What's your call? And that's my question for y'all today. What is your call to God? Not ourselves, not what makes us, makes us selfish, or what is your call to God? And I want y'all to really think about that here in Advent 2 and while we just saw this, okay? All right, next week.